Hi, welcome to my video on solve a system of polynomial equations. System of polynomial equations. Find the solution. So we're solving, we said find the solution. So we have y equals x cubed minus 4x and y equals 3x minus 6. Notice this is a cubic because the degree is 3. And this is a linear, this is slope by intercept form, so it's a line. So we're going to solve the system. So we'll let x cubed minus 4x equal 3x because they're both equal to y. That will find the values of x, and when we do, we'll sub them back into one of these two equations to get the points of intersection of the cubic and the linear. So x cubed minus 4x minus 3x plus 6 equals 0. X cubed minus 7x plus 6 equals 0. So we're going to solve this cubic equation. And the cubic equation, so when we solve, we have it equal to 0 in descending order. Notice the x squared term is missing because this is 0. And we have 3 roots, and we notice also there's no GCF, but I noticed that the coefficients of 1 and 6 is a 7. Negative 7 and 7 is 0, so I know that 1 is a root, so I'm going to do the synthetic division on x cubed, which is a 1. X squared is not there, so it's a 0. X is negative 7, and the constant of 6. Draw a line, bring down your 1, multiply, 1, add to get 1, multiply, 1, add to get a negative 6. Multiply 1 and negative 6 is a negative 6, and when we add, that's the remainder on the end. Remainder is 0, so 1 is a root. So that means we have 1 root. So we have, that's a cubic, so this is x squared plus 1x minus 6x, because it's equal to 0, because the remainder is equal to 0, then this is the quotient when we divide by x minus 1. So this is the depressed equation, and it's a quadratic, so we can see if we can factor it. If we cannot factor it like this, then I'll use the quadratic formula. X squared is x and x. The factors product is negative 6, and the sum is plus 1. So the factors of 6 are 6 times 1 and 3 times 2. So 3 and 2 looks like the factors is going to give you the 1. And the product is negative, so it must have a plus and a minus. So it's a plus 3 and a minus 2. Multiply negative 6, add plus 1. So x plus 3 is equal to 0. X is equal to negative 3. Or x minus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to 2. So now that we have all the intersecting values of x, so what we're going to do when x equals 1, I'm going to sub 1 into, if you want to call this equation 1 and call this equation 2, so I'm going to sub that into equation 2. So if I put the x value in, call 1, so I get a 3 minus 6, so I get a negative 3. So I have 1, give me a negative 3. Now I'm going to take x equals negative 3 and sub it into the same equation. Notice I subbed it into the linear because it's easier. I could sub it into this equation here, but I got 2 x's, so it's easier to sub it into the linear because I have one value of x, so x is negative 3. And multiply, get negative 9 minus 6 is negative 15. So negative 3, negative 15. And we have x is equal to 2. So when x equals 2, we're going to sub it into the linear again. And x is x is 2. X is 2. Put 2 in the place of x. 6 minus 6 is 0. So when x is 2, y is 0. So that's the 3 solutions. That's 3 ordered pairs. So this cubic and the linear will intersect at 3 points, and there they are. So if you take each of these points and sub into the cubic, that just verifies that this system is okay. If you want to do that, sub 1 in for x and a negative 3 for y, the equation should be true. And I'll just do 1. Y equals x cubed minus 4x. So x is 1. And y is negative 3. So 1 cubed is 1. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 3 equals negative 3. So that's the solution. And if you sub these two in also like here, like I did here, then you also verify that they're the solutions. Okay, that's one. Let's solve another one. Again, if you want to stop your video and work this out on your own, be my guest. And again, we have a cubic, which has 3x intercepts, maximum or 1. And we have a parabola this time. But in order to solve it, because they're both equal to y, so I'll substitute a transitive property if you want, whatever way you want to say it, because y equals x cubed minus x squared minus 4x plus 4, and y equals negative x squared plus 5x plus 4. Let them equal to each other. And notice that the 4 is on each side, so I can cancel out. Notice the x squared is on each side, I can cancel them out. And I got an x cubed minus 4x. The plus 5 moves over to become a minus 5 equal to 0. That gives me x cubed minus 9x equals 0. And I'm going to solve. I see x is the GCF, so take the x out. X cubed divided by x is x squared. Negative 9x divided by x is negative 9. And I have x is equal to 0, or x squared minus 9 equals 0. And I can do this two ways. I can either factor it, or I can go x squared is equal to 9. The square root of x squared is plus minus the square root of 9. So x equals plus minus 3. So when x is 0, I'll take the first one. I'm going to sub that into, I can sub it into the cubic or into the quadratic parabola. So I'll sub it into, this is equation 1. This is equation 2. Again, I'm going to go into equation 2. Again, I got less x as a sub into, so I'm going to say a little bit easier to work it out. So x is 0, so I sub 0 in for x. And you work out each term. 0 squared is 0, negative of 0 is 0. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 4. So that works out to be 4, so 0 gives me a 4. So 0, 4 is the point of intersection of the cubic and the parabola. And we have x equals plus or minus 3, so let's take the 3. So y equals negative x squared plus 5x plus 4. So I'm going to sub in 3 in the place of x. So 3 is going into place of x. And I square 3, I get 9, and the negative of it is a negative 9. Notice it's not the negative 3 squared, it's just the 3 is being squared and it's the negative of it. And that gives me a 15 plus 4. So that gives me, when you have 19, that's a 10. So that means 3 comma 10 is an ordered pair that intersecting of the cubic and the parabola. And we have another value of x. X is negative 3. So y, and again I'm going to sub it into the same equation. I could sub these three values into equation 1 and work them out, but I elected to go into equation 2. So x is negative 3. Negative 3 in bracket squared. X is negative 3 in the bracket. So I subbed it in. Now I have to stick negative 3 in squared to give me 9. the negative of 9, so that's a negative 9. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15, and add on 4. And that ends up to be 11. It's a negative 24 plus 4 is a negative 20. So that ordered pair is x is negative 3, y is negative 20. So the three ordered pairs are 0, 4, 3, 10, and negative 3, negative 20 are the three ordered pairs that make this that are solution to this system of equations. Again, it's a cubic because of x cubed, the highest degree. This is a quadratic because it's x squared is the highest degree. And turn the page over, and we have another one to do. Looks terrible, but really, this is a quartic, which is degree 4. This is a quartic, it's got a degree 4. Again, because they're both equal to y, I'll let them equal to each other. So I write them down. You got to be careful not to make a mistake. X to the 4 plus 2x cubed plus x squared plus 3x minus 3. So just checking to make sure. Looks like everything is okay. And the x to the 4's cancel out. Let's see, what else? Nope, nothing else cancels out. So we've got to go with descending order, 3x cubed, and take the 2, it makes a negative 3x cubed, bring this 2x cubed over, makes it negative 2x cubed, and I got a negative x squared, bring this one over, it's a negative 2x, or negative x squared, and that's a negative 3, gotta be careful, and negative 1, bring it over, plus 3, so you just gotta be careful. So check it, 3x cubed, perfect, bring this one over, is a minus. This is a negative x squared, bring this one over, makes it, that one is gone, this one is, so that's a x squared becomes negative x squared, that's a, I got my, left off my 2x, let's do this, let's do it again, just be careful. And as I do them, I'm going to scratch them out. Negative x squared, and I have a negative x squared. Scratch them out. I got a 2x, and I got a negative 3x minus 1 plus 3. Now we should be okay. 2x, that's a negative 3x. That's negative 1, and that's a plus 3. Add up the like terms, I get x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2 equals 0. So I want to solve this equation, which is a cubic, which has 3 roots because of the, and I notice I have 4 terms. So when I have 4 terms, I'll try grouping. So if I take the x squared out of here, I'm just going to move it over on the side. If I take x squared out, then I get x minus 2. If I take the negative 1 out of here, right here, I get an x minus 2. So it looks good. Why? Because I got an x minus 2 and x minus 2, which is a common GCF. So x squared outside of x minus 2 minus, whatever that sign is there, that's what you take out. And it's a 1 that's common, so it's x minus 2. So x minus 2 is common, and you get x squared minus 1 left. So x minus 2 equals 0. Or x squared minus 1 equals 0. And this one, x equals 2, move it over. X squared equals 1. The square root of x squared equals plus minus the square root of 1. X equals plus minus 1. So we have x is equal to 2. So we have to sub it into one of these. And it makes no difference. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. and it makes no difference which one you go into. So let's go into equation 2 again. So write down equation 2. You got to be careful that you write it down correctly. X to the fourth, 2x cubed, x squared, 3x, and minus 3. X is 2. So I'm subbing 2 in the place of x. And 2 to the fourth is 16. 2 cubed is 8, times 2 is 16. 2 squared is 4. 3 times 2 is 6, minus 3. And so when you plug in a 2, you add all that up, you get 42 minus 3 is 39. So that's when x is 2, we have a 39. Now, we'll work out when x is, I got plus or minus 1, so let's take the 1 or minus 1, it makes no difference. And I'm going to sub it into the same equation, x to the 4, 2x cubed, plus x squared. Just takes a little bit longer because I got more terms. So I'm putting 1 in, and we're putting 1 in. So 1 has gone in for x. But we know what happened, or we should know what, when we put 1 in, the numbers won't change, the coefficients. The coefficients, when you put 1 in here, you're going to have a 1, 2, 1, 3, and negative 3. Let's just work it out and let's see. So when you put a 1 in, you have 1 to the fourth is 1. 1 cubed is 1 times 2 is 2. 1 squared is 1. 3 times 1 is 3, minus 3. So notice that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 3, negative 3. When you add them up, they're gone, so that gives you 4. So 1 gives you a 4. Now, we're going to put in x equals negative 1, and we're going to sub it into the same equation, number 2. So it just takes a longer to write it down. So I'm subbing in a negative 1. Take your time. Subbing in a negative 1. And now I work out the power, work out each term. Negative 1 to the fourth power is 1. Negative 1 cubed is negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Negative 1 squared is 1. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, minus 3. And when you add that up, you get, that's gone, so you get negative 2 and 2 is 0, so that's negative 6. So that gives us negative 1, gives us negative 6. And so here's the three ordered pairs, 2, comma 39, x and y, 1 and 4, x and y, and negative 1, negative 6. So these are the three ordered pairs that satisfy both of these quartics. So if you drew the graph of each of these, then they would intersect at these 3 points. So that's solving a system of linear equations. Sometimes people or books call it simultaneous equations, but notice these equations are based on the polynomial functions that we did. Okay, that ends the video. If you like my video, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope everything was great. Bye-bye.